How often do you get nominated for your specials?
Nothing. I used to get nominated for everything,
Yeah.
and then the wokeness came in, and then I was considered conservative. Which
are you bad?
Ridiculous.
On a recent episode of his podcast, Bill went deep into how wokeness slowly crept into every corner of the entertainment industry, quietly draining its soul, killing the bold ideas, and replacing raw creativity with endless caution and fear of saying the wrong thing.
I was what I call soft canceled.
Yeah.
Where you don't.
He didn't hold back, even criticizing the Golden Globes for overlooking Joe Rogan in the Best Podcast category, arguing that this decision highlights a widening gap between mainstream institutions and the preferences of real audiences, showing how award shows are increasingly out of touch with what people actually want to watch and listen to.
Oh, you
I just got a Golden Globe nomination for the one I did.
Oh, really?
That's my.
So, without wasting any more time, let's jump right in and see what's really going on.
Today.
How often do you get nominated for your specials?
Nothing. I used to get nominated for everything, and then the wokeness came in, and then I was considered conservative. Which
are you bad?
Ridiculous. So I was what I call soft canceled.
Yeah.
Where you don't.
For some context, Bill had actually been nominated for his special. Can you believe it? And surprisingly, this ended up being his very first ever Golden Globes nomination, which makes the whole moment feel even more significant given everything he's been through in the industry.
Well, I'm a Bill Clinton liberal, which is from the 90s, which is now called a Nazi.
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
You're a white supremacist.
So this is the first time in a while I've been nominated for something.
Okay.
Which I think shows a little bit that we are coming out of the wokeness. I mean, I'm not going to win, and I'm probably not even going to go, but I take it as a victory that they were not able to ignore how good that special was. I just say that it's my last one. I'm going to say I'm not going to lie. It's just a really good special. Yeah. But, it's not one that the woke can watch and not throw up because I call their shit out. And the fact that people are laughing shows that it's funny.
This is a guy who has been a constant presence on television for over 30 years, building a career and reputation that few can match. And yet he ended up losing to Ricky Gervais, who didn't even show up to accept the award, which when you think about it is somehow perfectly on brand for him, highlighting just how unpredictable these awards can be, and how sometimes the industry's choices don't really reflect talent, effort, or even who's actually there to receive the recognition.
When you do stupid things, it's funny. And the left did a lot more stupid things in the last 5 to 10 years. And I'm a comedian. I go where the gold is.
But while many were surprised or amused, some left-leaning outlets seemed absolutely thrilled by the outcome, including The Daily Beast, which ran a headline reading, "Bill Maher melts down over his Golden Globes loss," turning the story into a spectacle and framing his reaction as a major talking point for their readers.
Do you think... I quoted very esteemed publications like The Atlantic or saying things like, separating sports by sex doesn't make sense.
You're probably wondering exactly what kind of jokes Bill made that managed to provoke such a strong reaction, and why they seem to hit a nerve with certain corners of the media, sparking headlines and commentary across multiple outlets. Instead of just summarizing or speculating, we're going to let Bill speak for himself so you can hear firsthand what he said, how he delivered it, and why it caused such a stir among both fans and critics alike.
That's not of course it does. If anybody can't do 5 minutes on that, or Mr. Beast, who was helping disabled people, and the Washington Post guy was tweeting like, he thinks disability is something that needs to be solved.
Oh, we're absolutely seeing it. And the shift in the industry has been slowly creeping up for years. It's true that not having a White House actively pushing a certain narrative makes a difference, music, but the trend actually started long before Trump re-entered the scene. Want proof? Just take a look at the numbers, which clearly show how the landscape has been changing gradually, reshaping the way content is made, marketed, and even received by audiences over time.
Exactly. You're laughing at the
it's funny.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but they hate that. But the fact that they nominated this tells me, okay, I think we are coming out of the peak woke era.
It is a little different. I can do a joke now.
Today's award shows pull in only a fraction of the viewers they used to in the 90s and early 2000s. And that's saying something, considering the population is bigger now than ever, and everyone carries a smartphone, giving instant access to every show at the touch of a button, which makes the decline in viewership even more noticeable. Dana Carvey really drove the point home, delivering a joke that not too long ago might have gotten him canceled, highlighting just how much the culture around entertainment and comedy has shifted over time.
I can do a joke now with Obama going to preschools or going to primary school and teaching kids lessons through nursery rhymes.
What would that sound like?
Yeah.
Jack and Jill went up the hill
That's awesome.
to fetch a pail of water. Jack looked at Jill, and Jill looked at Jack.
It's a killer joke, no question about it. Of course, not every line will land with every audience, but Dana's brief hesitation says everything you need to know. It's a crystal clear snapshot of just how far self-censorship has taken hold thanks to cancel culture, showing that even experienced comedians now pause and second-guess material that not long ago would have been considered completely routine, highlighting a major shift in the way humor is written, performed, and received today.
And Jill said, I'd like to be a Jack too. So Jack and Jack came down the hill. So that's a double whammy of a trans. And I tell the audience, it was just too good, right?
You mean that was something that they found to be controversial?
No, I just started doing it. It gets a lot of laughs.
It should.
Yeah, it should. But it's not anti-trans. It's just fun.
A few years ago, a bit like this would have set Twitter on fire. Again, not in a good way. It would have had Dana trending for all the wrong reasons, with people debating, criticizing, and dissecting every line, showing just how much the online culture has intensified the pressure on comedians to self-censor their material.
Sometimes you're in a really sort of certain kind of audience, people will go a little quiet on it.
If you say trans, it immediately sounds anti-trans.
Yeah.
Then Bill steered the conversation back to the award show, taking aim at the industry for overlooking Joe Rogan, who he argued clearly deserved to win this year, pointing out how out of touch these institutions can be when it comes to recognizing the voices and content that audiences actually connect with.
Yeah, I'm sure there were good shows, but it was glaring that Joe Rogan was not nominated
for Best Podcast.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of popular, and
it is known.
It is known.
He's absolutely brilliant at what he does.
And he's very good at what exactly. So if you're going to have an inaugural podcast category,
and you don't have.
It just speaks to living in the blue sky bubble.
Yeah.
But get out of your fucking bubble, I want to be one of you. I am one of you. But you're just so hard to defend because you're just such smug assholes. And this town is the epicenter of the problem.
I mean, calling Schultz smart in politics is probably giving him too much credit. He's mostly riding the wave of his podcast, tossing out quick, surface-level takes while having a decent sense of what the audience is feeling, which can sometimes make him seem insightful. But when you really dig in, it doesn't always hold up. Being a comedian helps him, though. He can spot hypocrisy from a mile away, and that skill definitely gives him an edge, but beyond that, it's not much. Now, the fact that Rogan didn't even get a nomination for Best Podcast at this year's Golden Globes really blew up. Joe addressed it a couple of weeks ago, and as you might expect, he went full throttle, leaving nothing unsaid and holding absolutely nothing back.
It really is.
How many more liberal Democrats are there? There's you that say what you say.
Not a lot.
There's a guy in Des Moines who runs a shoe store.
I had dinner with Andrew Schultz last night.
Okay.
I think he's one of them. I think he's a little more bro than me. He's a little more on the bro side, but I think he's a very smart guy.
He's absolutely right. For years, Hollywood has been controlled by a handful of gatekeepers, award shows, major studios, and powerful agents, deciding who gets the spotlight and who quietly fades into the background. That kind of environment naturally rewarded playing it safe over being authentic, or taking creative risks, making it harder for bold voices to stand out and shaping a culture where conformity often mattered more than genuine talent or originality.
So here's the thing. Like, a lot of people say, why wasn't Joe Rogan nominated for the Golden Globes? And like, why did Amy Poehler win? I didn't submit. So they asked me to submit to be nominated for the Golden Globes, and you had to pay $500. And the $500 is like for paperwork or whatever. I said, no. I go, I don't care. I already won. Like, you can't tell me I didn't win. I've been number one for 6 years in a row.
Wait,
all of a sudden, you're going to have a contest in front of all these people wearing tuxedos, and you're going to say, now I'm not number one? Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
You can't. Like, I don't care that I'm number one, but I am, in fact, number one.
That's exactly why so many insiders have traditionally kept their mouths shut, always towing the party line to stay in the good graces of Hollywood's gatekeepers. But that stranglehold is starting to fade. The internet has completely flipped the script, giving anyone the ability to build a massive following and reach audiences directly without needing a single nod of approval from an LA executive or a big studio, fundamentally changing how influence and success are measured in entertainment today.
So if all of a sudden you have a contest to decide who's really number one amongst us, like, that's amongst you. You're allowed to have your opinion. You like Amy Poehler better than me? I don't want to be a part of that. I don't care. You're just a group of people that just decide all of a sudden that you're going to give an award out. You got a trophy?
Power has shifted, and those old school gatekeepers no longer control the conversation the way they used to. The landscape has changed, giving creators and audiences more influence than ever before. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button if you enjoyed the breakdown. Hit subscribe so you don't miss future videos. And thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.